What do you think about Adam Gase finally relinquishing the play calling? Shouldn't he just relinquish his job?
No.
What do we? But look, the point is
to lose so you get the #1 pick. That's the point.
Well, yeah, but you lose so you can get rid of him.
Who gives you the best chance to lose? Adam Gase. So you keep him there. You keep him there.
Earl, I changed my mind. You're right.
That has to be one of the funniest statements of all time. Who gives you the best chance to lose?
Absolutely. I want that genius behind the play calling. I mean, the thing I would worry more about is the development of the players. That's why you need a coach in there who knows what he's doing. And, I mean, let's talk about the guys that they could get, okay? To me, there's one clear guy I would go after, that, and that's Harbaugh. I don't care what it's going to take to get him out of Michigan. You get him. And I don't want to hear...
A lot of Jet fans don't want him. CJ don't want him. CJ don't want him.
The Jet fans know. What did they know? The guy turned around the Niners, and he made it to the Super Bowl.
I agree. I would absolutely take Jim Harbaugh in a heartbeat. I would.
Yeah, so... I mean, but that's what they need. They need a proven guy who has been in the NFL, been successful. He turned around a Niners team that had basically the same team in 2011 that they had in 2010, and he made it to the championship game that year. Then he made it to the Super Bowl the next year. So I think that this is a guy that can win. I don't want to hear about he's not coming. Just get him. Okay, get him. They haven't gotten the guy for so long. They haven't gotten guys that they've wanted for so long. Now we settled for the crap that's left over. Enough. Douglas is cleaning house.
I know who I want. I want Eric Bieniemy. That's who I want.
Well, that would be a good choice. But the one thing I don't like about that is the Jets never hit on any of those guys. I mean,
there's something about him. I mean, Eric Coleman swears on him. He knows him personally.
I thought Herm Edwards was going to be a great coach. I loved Herm Edwards.
Herm Edwards was a good coach. He wasn't a great coach. He was a good coach.
He was a good coach, but he wasn't a guy. He didn't turn the ship around.
He's a defensive coordinator. This guy's an offensive mind.
And Eric Bieniemy has been highly profiled in a lot of different spots for coaching rumors for the last 2 years.
He's a guy I would definitely give a shot. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they got him. But if they go to like another retread that has had like a Dan Quinn, like God forbid they hire.
No. He could be the defensive. I wouldn't mind him a defensive coordinator for the Jets. I think.
Look, there are guys that are great at coordinating jobs. Yeah. North Florida was an excellent coordinator. I'd take him any day as a coordinator. I never want him as head coach.
I think Dan Quinn. I think Dan Quinn would get more out of the players right now that he has, that the Jets have right now, at getting to the quarterback than Greg Williams. He lost. Greg Williams lost the defense, man. He lost them.
Yeah, but all the guys are. It's a weird year, man. All the guys are hurt. It's like everything's so weird. But look, bring back Rex as a defensive coordinator. I'd love to see him as a defensive coordinator. He was a great defensive coordinator.
I just, to me, there was a lot of things that stood out to me with the New York Jets this week. But the one thing that really stands out to me, Jet fans should not be complaining that Adam Gase is still there. If anything, you should be celebrating.
You got a good point. Yeah. I give you that, Errol. That's a great point.
You should be celebrating, because I guarantee you when he gets fired, we bring in a guy, and the Jets will win the next week after that. I guarantee it. And screw the Jets from getting the #1 pick. I can see the Jets doing that.
The Picasso syndrome, where they're like 2-7, and then he goes on a 5-game winning streak.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. We're not going to see Sam for at least 4 weeks. He has a dislocated shoulder, throwing shoulder. There's no way they're going to bring the kid back when it could put him at risk career-wise, or if he's a trading piece, moving him in the offseason. You want him to be 100% healthy, where teams will be lining up if you decide that you don't want him and you want to draft Trevor Lawrence. So that's going to be up to the Jets and Joe Douglas. Let Joe Douglas make that decision. If he thinks that Sam is the guy, he will keep Sam. If he doesn't think Sam's the guy, he will draft Trevor Lawrence.
I trust Douglas.
Yeah.
All right, so as we end up here, we'll finish with college football, because we got a great game this week.
We still got time anyways, because there is no Wise Guys tonight. So.
Oh, okay. Well, Clemson beat Miami this past week. I thought Miami it was their time to really step up and be the U that everybody remembers, the Michael Irvin, the Ray Lewis all those guys that they brag about, Frank Gore, those guys that brag about the U, this was their time to step back in it, and they didn't. And they got slapped around by Clemson. But Clemson's a good, best team in the country right now. And you can't just say, oh, they're in the ACC anymore, because they beat teams pretty handily. And whenever a team is supposed to challenge them, they haven't. So they've really stepped up as far as the competition in the ACC. A couple of years ago, they struggled against North Carolina. They struggled against Syracuse. They don't seem to be doing that anymore. In the SEC, though, which is really the only other conference that matters right now, the game of the year is going to be Georgia against Alabama. Alabama has not lost to an SEC East team since they lost to South Carolina in 2010. They've won 27 straight against teams from the Eastern Division. That is unbelievably good. And I don't think Georgia has the offense to beat them. Alabama put 723 yards up on Ole Miss. Now, Ole Miss can't stop
That doesn't say
anyone.
much.
Me, you, and Speedy can go out there and get 600 yards. Them not being able to stop Alabama is no big deal. But Alabama ate up Texas A&M. They ate up Missouri. Then you saw Missouri beat LSU.
Yeah.
You saw Georgia's really the only team that has played consistently great, other than Alabama.
They're my national champions, Georgia.
Well,
Georgia Clemson national title game.
They don't have a quarterback. You got to be able to score. They don't have a quarterback. I don't trust this guy being able to put up the numbers that Mac Jones can put up, or that even when they play Florida, they're gonna have a hard time scoring. Look, Florida lost to a good team. Texas A&M was supposed to challenge Alabama for the West this year. Okay, and they beat them 41-38. It was a great game. Florida, I don't think Florida's going to lose again. They're pretty good, and in the East, you see, South Carolina, it's not going to be good. Tennessee, they had their shot this week against Georgia.
Terrible second
they
half.
laid a big egg. So I don't want to hear about Tennessee anymore, okay? And for the last 10 years, it's been Florida or Georgia in the SEC East. It's been LSU, Auburn, or Alabama in the SEC West. And there's no LSU anymore. They're done. Auburn, they have to cheat in order to win. They did again last week against Arkansas, for crying out loud. I mean, I don't know if you saw the play, but it was clearly an incomplete pass. They should have never gotten away with it.
Oh, yeah.
But, you saw it last year against Alabama when they got the extra play and it gets the field goal at the end of the first half. There always seems to be clock problems down at Alabama, at Auburn. Even the kick six, that was because somehow they got an extra second left on the clock in that game. So something always seems to happen down there in Auburn.
If Alabama made the kick, it could have been fishy on their end too, and people would be complaining about it.
Yeah, it just seemed to work out that way. And then Alabama, the guy, they can't make like a 20-yard field goal. Alabama, that's the one weakness they've had during Saban's era, is they can't get a guy to kick an extra point.
Right.
So, that was a long shot. But anyway, I just think it's funny the amount of things that happened down there in Auburn.
What did you think about the Islanders making a trade today?
Devon Toews for the 2 second-round picks for the Avalanche, right? Well, Toews is a guy there; he's expendable.
Mm-hmm.
They need more team speed, I think.
Well, they needed a spot for Noah Dobson, and Noah Dobson's going to be fitting in like a glove. You have Bodie Wild coming up next year. I think you'll see Bodie Wild possibly in the NHL. So they have some good defensemen that are coming up now. So, and that kid Salo too from the Islanders, the defenseman that everybody keeps talking, Finnish player. That they're saying that he's going to be, he could be a star at the defensive position too. So, I think the Islanders have more than enough prospects to move up in position. I think they got to pay Barzell in the offseason this year. Mm-hmm. They got other people that they're going to have to expend and pay to. So, and they have to bring in another offensive player.
They got to. Yeah, they got to. All right, here, let's get this done right now. Who would you want to see back, and who would you see expendable to get a Draisaitl?
I want to. I don't know about. They're not getting Draisaitl.
Yeah, his price is very high right now.
He's the kind of guy that you need.
The guy from Edmonton you're talking about?
Yeah, who won the Hart Trophy.
He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere.
I'm not saying look,
Barzell, you're gonna have to give up. You're gonna have to give. I'll tell you what you're gonna have to get Draisaitl. You're gonna have to give up Barzell. You're gonna have to give up one of their top defensemen, either Dobson or one of the young kids that they have in their farm system, and probably a first or a second round draft pick. That's what you're gonna have to give up.
Barzal, but I would give up anything else.
You would give up Noah Dobson?
I would give up. Yeah, well, you got to give up to get a guy like that. I mean,
you're giving up possibly one of the top 5, top 7 defensemen in the future in the NHL. You're going to give up defensemen. Defensemen are harder to find, Mark. They're harder to find.
There aren't many guys that are at the level that could score like Draisaitl can. Okay, there aren't.
And there's not many as good as this kid's going to be. He's big, he's strong, he can skate, and he's a good offensive player.
Well, I think the Islanders can afford to give him. I think they're still strong enough defensively. The reason why the Islanders
with who? A bunch of 30-year-old boys?
The reason why the Islanders won't win is because they won't score enough.
They're going to get it. I still think they're going to get Patrick Laney. I really do. They're going to find a way. I do. I think they're going to find a way to make the trade. I don't know, because I thought Devon Toews would have been a perfect fit, like a glove. But yeah. I think they're looking for a left-handed shot. Mayfield could be a guy that would fit in that category. It's not just Mayfield. They're going to have to give up a couple of first-round draft picks. Yeah. They're going to have to give up some players for Patrick Laney. But I could see Patrick Laney going to the Islanders. Absolutely.
Laney would be good. I mean, he's a young guy. He's definitely got more potential to get better.
Put him with Barzal, a huge potential. Barzal has a guy that he can put the puck on his stick, and he can put it right in the net. I mean, the guy's a sniper.
Laney isn't bad. I would definitely.
Laney's never played with a guy that can pass the puck like Barzal. If Barzal, he will make Barzal a 30-goal scorer. He will make Barzal that kind of player because he'll open up the ice for Barzal.
Well, Barzal can score. Look, the reason Barzal, if you remember the year with Tavares, Barzal was awesome. I mean, the reason why the Islanders haven't scored the last 2 years is because they're not supposed to.
Well, I understand that, but he will open up the ice for Barzal. He'll open up, places where Barzal can plant his body and give him a more of a percentage of a shot to put the puck in the net. Where Barzal goes is Barzal has to make every single thing open. He's got to open up everything on the ice. With Laney, Laney's so big, he's so strong. He'll position himself in a spot where if Barzal gets him the puck, he'll be able to get the puck back to Barzal so he can put the puck in the net. So I think
Bavillier really stepped up.
Oh, he's fantastic. He's going to be another guy.
Yeah, that needed to happen. So if they get that kind of play from him, that'll be very good.
How about the kid that they brought from the Ottawa Senators? He showed why the Islanders. Pajot. They didn't have to go. Everybody keeps talking about the Islanders didn't have a first or a second round draft pick. Yeah, oh well. He was one of the best players in the playoffs.
He was. He really was. I mean, a lot of the guys.
9 goals in the playoffs.
Yeah, jeez.
A lot of the guys stepped up for them this year in the playoffs. It's why you're wondering who's going to be back. He
is 5-year contract. Oh, yeah. He'll be up there. He'll be a second-line center next year. I guarantee it. Either him or Brock Nelson. I think they'll move Brock Nelson in the offseason.
Me too. I think Brock Nelson will be gone.
I do. I think his contract's affordable to some players, some teams, and he's a 27, 30-goal scorer. You can get a player for Brock Nelson in a trade.
Yeah, you can. Look, what about the fourth line? I heard that they're not coming back. I heard
Clutterbuck, they're going to try to move his contract. They're going to try to move his contract. And Cizikas is under contract for another 2 years. I could see them moving Cizikas. Martin could be brought back because he wants to stay. He wants to stay with the Islanders, but also I've been hearing the Rangers interested in him too.
That'd be an interesting twist.
Years ago, that was a mistake. I mean, they got him back. He's perfect for what.
He's a fan favorite. The fans love him.
And him and look, the fourth line has been one of the.
It is the best fourth line in hockey.
It's been hyped up for a while now. Yeah,
it's been the best fourth line in hockey. The problem is that you're overpaying these guys. Clutterbuck is making way too much money on the fourth line.
Cizikas. I'm so mad at rated Niederreiter for Clutterbuck, even though Niederreiter didn't turn out to be as good as I thought he would be.
Well, again. That's the Islanders, and that's Garth Snow.
Yes.
Hold on. Sign Corey Crawford as the backup for the Islanders. The Islanders don't need a backup.
No, Corey Crawford signed with the Devils already.
I think the Islanders are planning to trade Varlamov. I do think they're going to try to move Varlamov in the offseason. They've got their goaltender of the future.
They've got him.
And they've got him. He's going to play. Sorokin will be playing every single game practically next year. He's young. He's 24 years old. He's big. He's strong. He's flexible. If he stays healthy, he's going to be digit.